Thank you, Amrish. Our second session is track 3, digitize your past and future. Our speaker for this session has over 28 years of industry and services experience. He has worked with Fortune 100 clients in the USA, Europe, Asia, and Japan. He has driven IT digital transformation strategies around consulting, design, build, operate, and run for MNCs. Currently, he heads the business application services for Fujitsu in India. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Ninad Sule.
Good evening, 6 o'clock, it's a tough time. I'm sure I'm standing between your spirits and food as well, but I'll try to be as quick as possible. So I'll just share I'll be sharing actually my experience in India specifically. My responsibility is to deliver services for Indian customers. I'm based out of Mumbai and hardly in Mumbai, traveling like hell with the customers to find out what's really happening in their space. We are focusing a lot on manufacturing, and I'm sure Amrish has highlighted most of the things. So when I want to start this topic, what digitize of past and digitize in the future, of course, digitize in the present is taken along with it. And then I was saying, how do I start my presentation? So I go back 50 years ago, and 50 plus. And then as a kid, I used to remember a guy used to come on a cycle, to put on the light of the streets, So we have seen those eras. Till today also, if you go to Kerala, most of the temples, inside the temples, there is no electricity. There's a reason for that, so you cannot do any digitization there at all. So there will continue to be oil lamps, so that's why you see an oil lamp there. That will remain, that exists and will continue. And then you come to the rightmost part of it. I thought one day I replaced all my tube lights with CFL, and I thought I'm going to save a lot of money that is out of date. Now LEDs have come in, and even more excitingly, combinations of the fan and light and LED and using your mobile and remotes. The analog fan regulator has disappeared. People are using remotes and maybe using it onto even your mobiles to put it on whenever you want, when you left the office. This is connected to the air conditioners, setting the temperature much before. And I actually was quite surprised. One of the kids called up his dad, I'm going to reach home and show my room is chilled out. So the dad was calling him, you have your cell and it's connected. Why the hell are you calling me? And this is something I saw it in front of me and I was like zapped, So this is really happening right in front of us. The first time when I heard about, at least 3 to 4 years ago, digital transformation, Internet of Things, I really thought India will be a late adapter. I'm still not on Facebook, by the way. So it's something which a lot of people hate me. But I'm sure that I will be pushed in that direction. I'm already on WhatsApp and Twitter, but this is something what is really happening right in front of you. Then if you see the trains evolution also, the last part of it, I think it's at this moment, even in India, the high-speed train is being tested. A Spanish version has arrived, but I think bottom line is all technology at the bottom. And that is something which I now see, massive things are changing rapidly. I used to tell my daughter, at 8:30 at night, I used to listen to Radio Ceylon, Binaka Geet Mala, and there was one radio in the corner. It was a wall radio. And she says, what the hell is that wall and what is the hell is that radio? I've never seen it in my life. And now those radios have come, transistors have come and gone. It's now on your mobile, I guess. So everything is on the mobile. So things really, this is something which is really happening, and I really see that the digital is the underlying theme, and it's happening right here in India. The other thing is, because of this, the work-life balance is a mess. So I still remember that for 10 years I took my daughter and dropped her to school. And in the morning it was a prime time, and I took pleasure in doing that. And the evening I had sort of a sync point with my parents. Now see the change that is happening now. I think thanks to technology, the first thing what you do in the morning is check your mobile on WhatsApp, what's happening, see Facebook, when you come to the office, you start your email. And if you have read Stephen Covey's book, First Things First and all that stuff, email is not what sits there. Email is the last thing that you should do. So ensure you're doing the top priority jobs on your to-do. But I think this is completely radically changing the way we are living our life, the way things are impacting into our office. Family life is a disaster. People are keeping their phones next to the pillow and sleeping. Bing, somebody has sent some message, and immediately people are looking at it. And I sometimes see read and has sent items at 2:30 a.m. and 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. And I ask the guys, what are you guys doing? By the way, I just switch off the phone after once I've gone, it's gone, so I switch it off. But I think I still remember I did projects on fax machines. There was no email either. There was one email ID which the MD had, and the rest nobody. And then there was a fax machine. And I'm sure that I delivered all the projects to perfect quality, on time and budget. But now so many intrusions, things have happened. People are asking dashboards. So I'm sure all of you in the industry are there. There are many reports lying there. When I go to any of the customers and I try to see how many dashboard people have, they say 1,000, 2,000. Every stakeholder needs about 50 to 100. Then I run a secret script. I can find out which report was fired when, and then you get another state of the problem. So my statistics say there's a lot of information available. I think 80% people don't use it, and then it's still they are missing another 100% of it. So, but this is really where we are, and I think we have to think about it and what we need to really take as next steps. What is happening is now you are wired completely. Yeah? Everybody is watching you where you are. And one of the top left case, the guy lying on the floor, this is a Fujitsu solution. I don't know how many have got Fitbits here. So Aman, you have it? So you still have it? Okay, great. Fitbit is coming as an it started with Apple obviously, and it gives you your vital parameters that you're supposed to walk so many steps, how is your blood pressure, is your pulse rate right, and it gives you that kind of information, and by which you can set up certain things and then plan your day. But the thing is that just that information lying with you is not going to help you. Suppose your BP has shot up, what will you do? Either you have to lie down on the floor or ask for help from public or what, we do not know. So Fujitsu has developed that solution using our own IP, which Amrish was talking about, one of the IP. We call it Run My Process. So it's a workflow. So what we have done is with that Fitbit, we have integrated, it transmits the parameters to his GP and the near hospital. Most of them have a health plan, I guess. So there is a doctor, possibly an alert goes to him if the guy is not okay and he's fallen down. And it enables, it triggers off a business processes, it fires emergency services. And since the guy, it is GIS, so he knows the locations are known. And hopefully a doctor and an ambulance comes on time, depends upon what kind of parameters you are. And he gets necessary medical attention. So this is something which we have done. Again, the underlying theme, maybe we are boring you that human-centric innovation is the underlying theme that we have. So let's go on. I think a lot of these things we've already heard about it, so I'll try to skip this one, and I'll try to skip this one as well. I want to really come to what digital opportunities are lying in front of us, and I'm going to run down several experiences that I have seen. The first one is analog. I met very recently Siddharth Kak. I do not know who is young enough or old enough to watch Surabhi. Anybody who has seen Surabhi serial? A lot of hands, right? A lot of hands. And I'm sure it was a big hit, it was a big super hit. It was running several hundred serials done. He told me, Ninad, they've recorded India completely on the tape, and it's lying in my analog tape somewhere. I really do not know what to do with it. Do you have an idea? So I said, wow, now analog tapes, so obviously digital antenna went up. I said, before the tapes get destroyed, the minimum that you can do is at least digitize it. That's the minimum thing. He says, what the hell, what for, and what will I do with it? Then I ran out of ideas. I said, oh, now I'm in trouble now. So then I got a serious discussion, and then he got interested. He's actually creating a virtual game park as we speak in close to Mumbai. So he's going to digitize that content, and government has given him a free land, and it's like Universal Studios. So it's like a coronation of Shivaji. If he has the whole thing, he wants to present a virtual experience, and he's going to make money on it, call it entertainment park or whatever you call it, you know. So this is something, you know, from analog tape to digitization to virtualization to call virtual reality, and running a business model behind it. Of course, you know, at the end of the day, you need to make money and have a business value. Otherwise, it's you all know, we have seen the .com come and go, you know. Then let me take another example. I was talking to a guy, my colleague, he's in the cement factory, and a lot of surveillance cameras around. And I'm sure in most of the societies nowadays, at least in Bombay, this is compulsory. This police says that if a thief comes to your house or you're murdered, you are responsible yourself. Police will possibly do the remaining, you know, whatever is the, but you take care of yourself, in short. So people have installed cameras, and then you know the security guys are sleeping most of the time, nobody looks at it. So like Amrish says, data is being collected and, you know, archived. So that doesn't help. So what the cement company does, they also install several surveillance cameras, but they wanted to derive a value of it. So what they have done is they have put rules inside it. So they expect from morning, you know, certain morning 6 o'clock when the shift starts to 12 o'clock, there's a certain pattern. Then there is an afternoon pattern, there's an evening pattern, and there's a night pattern. So based on that, they trigger off a signal, potential hazards or potential accidents could happen. So this is happening right here in Mumbai, actually in a cement factory. So that's the surveillance camera. The other example that I have is I recently bought a new car, so I was going through a lot of data analysis and paralysis myself, searching and comparing on Car Bazaar and all this stuff. So one fine day I was trying to do a search, you know, automatic car, petrol, my mileage. I got a chat box below. Can I help you? I said, wow, these things were not possible about a few years ago. And so I'm a technical guy, so I said, let me challenge this guy. You know? So I said, yes, please help me. So to cut the long story short, I mean, I could easily get a huge discount from this guy, because this guy is like a OYO room. He was an aggregator. He was an automobile aggregator. So he told me that, you know, if you select the model, I'll give you the best discount. So what his business model is around, he will float the inquiry to the several automotive distributors and see which vehicle is not moving. And I actually got a discount of nearly $1 lakh on a car, and that's, I thought, is huge. And Honda themselves normally don't give any discounts. So that's something which is happening. Then I'll take another one is Endurance, is automotive OEM for Bajaj. Now they are pretty advanced. They have a die casting, and they manufacture aluminum casting engines for those motorcycles and the alloy wheels. And the CIO told me, Ninad, SAP works, ERP works, everything is working fine. What can you do? And then I said, what is your main pain? So after a long discussion, he said, one of the things is that there's a lot of wastage. You know, what happens is a certain die can punch certain engines, and after some time, the kind of a quality goes down and there's a rejection. So I said, great, let's try to see what we can do. And now we're trying to build a POC for him. We will use potentially either RFID barcode or a camera to see, you know, now to give him the optimum yield out of that you know, die casting process which is there. And this, one of the things, of course, you must have visited our partner. We are partnering with Barcode, and colleagues from Barcode are here. So we are doing already one project with them for Hero two-wheelers, Hero Honda Motor two-wheelers, and they wanted to have a traceability right from raw material to finished goods, and also the interconnect between the chassis and the engine. So this is another thing which we are doing right here. Last, on the analog part of it, If you see in the olden days, in the movie cinemas, there was those analog tapes, 18 tapes, 21 tapes, and then everything was physically delivered. Now with digital coming there is no physical tape at all, and the digital content gets distributed real time pretty much, and you can have as many shows as you want. Otherwise there was limitation of 3 shows. The reason being, between the 3 shows the tape goes to some other theater and all that stuff. So things have changed drastically, and we have to now acknowledge that, accept it, where these things are going. So at the bottom of it, I mean, it's if you understand the patterns on the social media of the LinkedIn, the Twitter, a lot of information is coming from there, and if you use it intelligently, real time, the important part is using mobility, data, real time, you can drive your business models in a really efficient way and really differentiate yourself. To end, on the last slide, I think Amrish has already mentioned, we have a lot of IPs, 100,000 IPs are there. We are trying to bring one by one in India. I must mention one of them is Globe Ranger on the top left. Lockheed Martin is a use case. Behind is SAP MRO, if people understand its maintenance, repairs and overall. But it has got a real-time tracking of assets, it has got a real-time tracking of inventory, supply chain, everything. Since it's defense, if a joystick has to be procured from Europe, it has to follow a certain pattern, either via sea, via air, and that can be tracked real time. And by the way, the aircraft has to be on the ground less and more in the air. So we try to give to that airport where the aircraft is landing for a certain amount of time. This can be planned proactively, and the parts can be ordered and sent there. So when the aircraft lands, it's exactly ready for a relevant components to be replaced. So it's almost like a just in time, but really real time. So this is happening real time. So that's it what I wanted to say. If there are any questions, I was told to quickly speed them up. Any questions? Otherwise I will ask Rajiv to take over. Rajiv, thank you so much.